What's up, Tsla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some big news that came out involving Cathie Wood, not to mention our economic calendar. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. Not to mention 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. The offer ends very soon in just 3 days. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the market. So, right now, the market's doing a very, very decent job at holding up. We saw a lot of buyers step in because of some news that came out yesterday, alongside some political shifts. And for now, the market's still doing a good job at holding up, approaching the big holiday. Remember, tomorrow is going to be Thanksgiving, so the stock market's going to be closed, and this is going to be the last trading day before the weekend starts. So, with this happening, generally before this, they may try to close things on a higher end if we do maintain some key levels. I do expect Tesla to try to push upon open, but we'll be watching to see how well this could really maintain these levels. So let's talk about some news and data, and I'll break down more information about Tesla. The first thing worth mentioning is this right here. The news is screaming about how Cathie Wood has sold $18 million worth of Tesla stock. This is making all the headlines right now, especially on Benzinga. People are just losing their minds over this, but just know that this is absolutely nothing compared to the stake that she typically holds. So if you look at Tesla right now in the ARK Invest ETF, in the overall fund, you guys could see that we have about $943 million worth of Tesla shares. That's how much is being held right now with a 14.48% stake. So, of course, you're going to be expecting Cathie Wood to be selling tens of millions of Tesla shares at a time, once again, taking profits, repositioning, and then putting the money elsewhere. That's completely normal. That's part of her job. In fact, every single day she could be selling like a few million here and there, putting it into something else. That's completely normal. What matters is, what is the vision of Tesla? Does she still maintain her vision, which is what she does? And if she truly, maintains it, action speaks so much louder than words. So the actions right over here, that she's still holding almost $1 billion worth of it in the fund with a 14.48% weight. And she's very, very bullish on the robotaxi and things just like that. She did talk about that a couple of weeks ago. So her view is just the same, in my opinion. And I can't wait to see what else the future holds for Tesla. Now, on top of this, there is some news coming out right over here. There was another cybercab that was spotted at the Giga Texas. That's very interesting. They're testing it right now, trying to do different things. I think that's very, very good as they're continuing to improve it. And I can't wait to see what else this holds for our future. Now, when will the cybercab come out is a question I'm always being asked by people. I personally don't know. It could take many, many years until it's officially out. Some people are estimating that it may hit volume production within 2 years from now. It all depends. It depends on how fast they could really solve a lot of these problems and what developments they could get from FSD. Now, there's an advantage that Tesla now has with Musk being involved in politics, and that is it gives Tesla a better view with their developments and deregulation. And Tesla has a better way of foreseeing what kind of regulations are being made and how they could just get past different barriers to approve FSD and factors like that. So this is very, very interesting stuff. And I think that with these tests that are going on, they're going to continue to improve the product. And I can't wait to see what they end up announcing over the next couple of years once this officially comes out. It will come out soon. We'll just have to wait and see how long it takes. Now, as far as the market goes, just know that today is Wednesday, November 27th. Once again, because it's the last day before Thanksgiving, they're basically dumping all the data today, and so far the market still manages to hold up. The GDP numbers were all as expected, so not bad whatsoever. This was quite decent, especially in terms of their growth rate quarter over quarter. So we had some good GDP numbers. On top of this, initial jobless claims was very close to expectations. The jobs numbers looked decent. Continuing jobless claims were very close as well. Not too bad. So all the data was quite decent in terms of GDP and our jobs numbers. The core PCE quarter over quarter data was also very close to expectations. That's not too bad. We do have another set of data coming out. So then 15 minutes after the stock market opens, okay, at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Chicago PMI. And at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have more of this data coming out of the PCE price index reports. This will cause some volatility. This It's going to be very important to watch for that. The PCE price index is month over month and year over year. So we'll see how this data looks on an inflationary basis. Besides that, that's all the data that's left. It's not really that much compared to how much came out already. So watch this very carefully. On top of this, the last major earnings we got was Dell, and unfortunately, the share price went down because of a light forecast. Their overall growth projections were weaker than expected. That's why the share price went down. Anyways, that is it for my news part of this video. Now let's just focus on the charts. So for Tesla, we're looking at this resistance right over here at this 342 area, very close to our 20 EMA. If that breaks, we're looking for essentially, just under 348, like 347 or so. If that breaks, we're looking for 350, followed by the 353 area as our resistances. And if we break 353, we could try to push higher. Now, there's a possibility that this is like a giant cup and handle. If that is the case, we want to see this thing break past 353. If Tesla breaks that, this has potential to push and try to break the 362 area. If not, if it's a trap and we struggle to really break past that 347 area, we could reject here and start tipping back down for this target. We're going to be looking for the support at 335, not to mention 330 near our 50 EMA. If that fails us, there's going to be this gap fill all the way down towards 321. So I'll be watching this very, very closely. We'll see how things go as we're just consolidating this range. And there is that risk of some downside if we lose 335. So make sure you watch that carefully. When we open, Tesla is going to most likely try to push because we like to get these surges in volatility and a little bit more volume when we open. So look for a little bit of a push upon open. We could attempt to try to retest the 345 area or even above that. But the question is, can we maintain above 342? That's all that matters. If we manage to hold above 342, we could continue to hold up. If we pump it and come back down in this, we're just going to continue to trade sideways. Tesla's volume has been a little bit low, so there's a chance it just does that. So keep that in mind. We might push upon open, then we might see a lot of sideways price action as the day goes on. Anyways, as far as SPY goes, we're bullish overall. We are trying to hold above 600. If 600 holds, whether we get a little dip upon open, then we reclaim it. If we reclaim 600 and hold above it, we could be going for 602.5 or above. And we'll see how well it holds above this. If 600 fails, we're going back down to 598 and 596.8. Watch those two supports. As of right now, it's holding up very, very nicely. There's no sign of weakness quite yet. We might see a small dip upon open, and then we'll see if this continues to pump higher. Once again, it is the last day before the weekend of Thanksgiving. So we'll see if this starts pushing higher for the 602 targets. I think that we're going to try to hold above 600 for now, and we still remain more bullish on SPY. Same thing with ES, as long as we don't lose support at 6,000 flat, 6,012, and then 5984 are the two main supports. Otherwise, this is looking more bullish. We could attempt to push back up for about 6,050, and we'll see if we break that or not. So I do anticipate a little bit of a push that's coming, then we'll see what kind of reaction we get from there. For Nvidia, we're on a bit of a downtrend right over here, so just keep that in mind. We are continuing to fall. We have to try to reclaim 135. If 135 is not held, this is at risk of coming down to about 132, which could slow things down for the market. So we'll have to see how well Nvidia holds above 135 to get back up to 138. If it does not hold, we'll have to see how it goes. For Bitcoin, we're testing resistance right here at 94,464. If that breaks, I think we I think we retest 96,000. It might actually try to push with this nice accumulation right here. We're going to be likely testing previous support becoming resistance at 96,000 flats. So I anticipate some upside as a stronger possibility. For let me double check this. NQ is just on a very, very nice uptrend right here. We'll have to see if we hold above 20,900. If that holds, we're going to likely continue to push closer to the 21,000s. If we lose 20,862, we could be tipping back down for 20,750. But overall, this is on a very, very strong uptrend. This has potential to push for 21,000 plus 21,100 to be more precise. It might push a little bit more. As far as the QQQ goes, because of Nvidia, this is looking a little bit heavier. So this could try to break past 510. If that breaks, we're looking for 512. We'll look at 506.61 and 505 as our supports. If 505 fails us, there's going to be a bigger dump closer to the lower 500s. So we'll see how it goes. But this is on a very, very nice uptrend. This could dip a little bit lower before it tries to bounce and push higher. So keep that in mind, guys. We remain bullish. I think the QQQ might dip when we open. We'll see if we bounce off 506 or not. But if anything, I think that we dip and then try to retest this 510 area just to start things off, and we'll see if we hold above it. I do want to call out that Nvidia is looking a little bit weaker, which could be a fact that's slowing down things. Even Apple is starting to slow down here after we hit resistance. My target of 236 was very close. We came very close to that level on Apple. We need to reclaim that to turn back up. Otherwise, we could be on our way back down for about 232 and then 229 below that. Apple looks like it might tip a little bit from here, so that's looking a little weaker, and that's why Apple and Nvidia are playing a role in slowing things down just a bit. The IW made a high here. It came down, made a lower high right here. So could we be forming a reversal? We need to try to break past 245. Otherwise, if we can't break that, there is a risk of us returning to about 239 all over again. So keep that in mind. Um, Coin is just consolidating right here. We're going to be looking for a test of 304. We'll see if that breaks. Might push for 304, if not 310 if that breaks, and we'll see how it goes from there. Amazon, on the other hand, is just it pushed very, very nicely to this resistance. If it breaks 208, we're looking for 210. But if it cannot hold above that, there is a risk of returning and testing previous support becoming resistance, or resistance becoming support, excuse me, at 205. So if we don't hold above 208, we're looking for 205. Meta is consolidating right here. If we manage to break past 577, we're looking for essentially 580. And if we can't, we're looking for a dip back down for 567. So it's very flat right now. Microsoft pumped very nicely to my target. We did hit this, but now we're rejecting. So I do see a risk of this dipping a little bit lower, closer to about that 423 area. And then as far as Google goes, we're looking for essentially 171. We have 171, 173 as resistances. I think we could attempt to go higher, but then we'll see if we reject. So look for that attempt for the 172 range. Might go a little higher, and we'll see if we get a rejection here or not. But there is some potential upside to come. Some tech stocks look weaker. Other tech stocks are looking better. Tesla, of all things, is looking like it wants to push upon open, but then we'll see if we get some kind of rejection as the day goes on and maintain this range as Tesla's been trading sideways for the past day. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. As long as Tesla does not lose 335 and as long as it does not break past 348, we remain range bound. But if we do lose that support or break past that resistance, we could be looking for a bigger move. Keep that in mind, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you guys very soon in a couple of hours for another update, and peace out.